Hi everyone. So the last mission that we looked at last week listed all of the malachot of Shabbat, the Av malachot, and now we pick up with the last one of that list, as is often done in the Mishnah, to elaborate more. And actually, that's going to be the next few chapters that we're dealing with. So we're dealing with hotzah, the malacha of carrying between domains or within the public domain. Okay, and here's what we say: V'od klal acher amru. They stated yet another general rule. Kol hakasher lahatzniya umatnin kamohu, v'hotzio v'shabbat chayav alav chatat. So whatever is fit to store and people store such a quantity, and one carried it out on Shabbat, this person would be liable for a sin offering. So this would be the biblical violation of doing the malacha. If it's something that you want to keep, some people want to keep in general, something that has some kind of value or someone would want to store for some reason or want to hang on to, it's something that's used by people. And it's a quantity fitting to be typically kept or used by people. So if it's such a small amount that it would be just thrown away, that would not qualify. So if it meets those two qualifications, and this will vary by what we're talking about, what the quantity is that can be used, right? That'll vary based on the substance or what it is or what how people value something. Okay, so that's general, and that rule applies. So even if someone this doesn't have this half of the rule doesn't have the same degree of subjectivity as the next one is going to have, the next half, because it doesn't matter if someone is like, let's say someone's so rich that they don't care about this thing that most people do. We apply the general rule that if it's something that normal people, that regularly people use, people value, people store, then it would be able to qualify as being a biblical violation. Okay. V'chol she'eno chasher lahatzniya, ve'ein matni'in kamohu, v'hotzio v'shabbat, eno chayav ela hamtsnio. Okay. So, and something that's unfit to store, or unfit to be used by people, to be kept, and people don't store it or keep it at such a quantity that it's too small an amount, and one carried it on Shabbat, the only person who would be liable is one who then does store it. So here there is in this law, it's a little different than in this half of the law is a little different than previously. So here in this case, the general principle that if something is not something that would be used by people or kept by people or stored by people, and not a sufficient or not at a sufficient quantity, then it wouldn't be a biblical violation. It may be depending on the situation, probably a biblical a rabbinic violation. But if someone, even that thing that was not usually stored or is not usually or is too small an amount, is stored and is kept and is wanting to be used by someone, then they could still reach the level of the biblical violation. So this does have this half of the law does have that, I guess, subjectivity, or maybe that's not the right word for it, to say that if an individual does choose to relate to this thing differently, than is what is the standard law for all people, then they could still do the violation. They still might be doing the violation. Okay, next week we'll do 4, which is a little bit of a longer one, and also the last one of this chapter, and then we'll move on to chapter 8. Okay, thanks so much, everyone. Have a good week. Bye.